Hey everyone, Charles here. And first of all, thank you for stopping by my podcast. If this show inspires you, makes you think, or gives you that courage to jump into action, please help by donating to this show. Click the link in the description and donate. Your donation helps us with production and finding great guests moving forward. Thank you and enjoy. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Jump Podcast. If this is your first time here, welcome. The Jump is all about not jumping up and down, jumping into greatness, jumping into your future. I bring interesting guests on, like you and me, to talk about all the things they've done and how they've jumped, and maybe it can help you to get to that next level. Now, my guest, man, we were talking in the green room, all the crazy stuff that he's done, like triathlons and like swimming, how many distances, and riding the bike, and man, the focus is unbelievable, but he's been all around the world. So stay tuned and please welcome my guest right after this. Let's go.
You know you should be doing something different, right? Hey, I'm talking to you. Do you believe that you have the gift for greatness or have a special talent, but don't have the courage to take that next step? Always wondering how others made it look so easy? Well, welcome to Jump, the show that will bring you special guests just like you and me. How did they get the courage to jump into greatness? Doing what they love and living the good life. So, get ready to jump with your host, Charles Matthews Jr.
Yes, we are back live, and thank you for joining us. Without further ado, I'm excited about my next guest. Let's bring him on. How you doing, my friend?
How are you doing?
I'm
very
good.
Well. Greetings from Singapore. 11 p.m. right here.
I know. I forgot to tell my fans that this is a crazy time difference. So it's 11 a.m. and where you are, it's 11 p.m.
Yes, correct. So my day is supposed to be over, but went for a run, took a quick shower, and fully energized again. Looking forward to this, Charles.
There you go. All right. So like I said, we do this the podcast style. So let's shut off our camera so people can sit back, relax, and let's get into this conversation.
Done.
All right. So tell us a little bit more about you, my friend. Born and raised, where are you from?
So I'm originally from Belgium. So my mom is from the east, my father from the west, which is already a strange thing in Belgium to begin with. And then they decided to give birth to me in Congo, DPR, formerly known as Zaire. I was there for about a year. And then we moved to China, to a city which used to be unknown, but now quite famous, as called Wuhan. So you're probably you know them now for the wrong reasons, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Was there for 2 years, learned Chinese back then, already forgot it by now. And then we moved to Yemen for a year. Then I spent 4 years in Rwanda, where we stayed until the genocide. We then escaped, moved back to Belgium for a while. We didn't stay for too long, just a year. And then the whole family transferred to the Philippines. And I would call Philippines home, despite being Belgian. So that's where I did my high school and uni. And ultimately spent a little bit of time in Italy. And then did my master's back in Belgium by myself for a couple of years.
All right.
And then since then... yeah, go ahead. I'll stop there.
Yeah, stop there for a second, because that's a whirlwind. Like, that's up all over the place, back down, back again. So
Correct.
give me a little taste of each location. Give us your fondest memory of each location.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So Congo, obviously nothing. I was a year old. China, apparently. So this is stories from back in the day. Apparently I would mingle with the local kids and speak as well as the locals. Apparently I had a little girlfriend back then, and we fell into a hole together or something like that. Yemen, just remember to be really hot. Rwanda is where I remember most of. So that was a great place to be as a family. There wasn't that much to do back then besides nature and safaris. So it was good family time. And then Philippines was just paradise. We lived on an island, great university, great friends. And I did pretty much anything a kid or an adult or adolescent person wants to do in their life.
Right.
So really can't complain about anything.
So then how many languages do you speak?
So right now I speak I would say 4, but my wife says 3. So I speak Dutch, I speak English, and I speak Cebuano, which is a Filipino dialect. And I claim to speak a little bit of Tagalog, but my wife speaks Tagalog, which is another Filipino dialect, and she says I suck at it. So let's say 3 for now.
Listen, I'll give you that one. Okay, we'll call it floor. You know, I'm on your side.
All right, thanks.
I'll give you that one.
I owe you one, Charles.
So then, where did the business minded come from? Like growing up, what did you want to be when you were growing up?
A football player, like in your world, a soccer player. That's okay. All I ever dreamt of. So yeah, no, that's that. I would go to bed with a football in my hand. I had posters of my idols on the wall. I mean, we did quite well growing up playing football. We won some national championships. So yeah, football was everything to me. But then I got a little bit into tech. And I realized I wasn't too bad at it. And I felt I was actually a bit of an entrepreneur. So joined the corporate world first, but then quickly realized during the pandemic especially that it was the time to change the world. So quit my job in the middle of the pandemic and now chasing my dreams, trying to make a difference.
All right, so let's backtrack because jumping into something new, and this is why we called it the jump. You know, there's great people out there that have great talents, but they're scared to take that next step. How did you decide to take that next step and say, you know something, I'm going to get to the edge and jump?
It is kind of my nature, Charles. I'm either in or out, right? And I felt I've been in Singapore now for about, say, 8 years. And I was having a really good job, very comfortable, good company, to be honest. They took care of me, but I didn't feel like I was making a difference to the world. It felt like life was before I knew it, I was going to be 60. That's what it felt like. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to leave behind a legacy. I wanted to make a difference. And as the pandemic happened, I felt, look, the world is changing. If I want to make a difference, now is the time. Right now, everyone is forced to make change. If I want to affect change, there's nothing better than a downturn. And it was quite tricky talking about a jump. My now wife, girlfriend back then, was just pregnant, right? And the whole pandemic happened. I didn't have a job, right? I quit my job and just started my own company. And
so that's
looked back since then.
That's a leap. That's a serious leap of faith there that you're just moving forward. And I have to say congratulations because a new dad.
Correct.
Yes.
10-month-old baby now. Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to come back to this, but I want to ask it now. How has being the dad now changed you as the business dad compared to an entrepreneur before?
Oh, wow. That's a complex question. First of all, being a dad, I mean, I thought I had a good life, right? I thought my life was perfect. And then I became a dad and you just realize there's just completely new heights to life, right? Now, it also puts things in perspective, to be honest, right? There's a new reason to get things done. I've put myself in a position where I need to be successful. But the future of my daughter depends on it. I want to set a good example for my daughter. I want my daughter to remember later on, look back at me later on and say, look, it's okay to follow your dreams, right? It's okay to not be in the status quo and just do it by example, right? So it has changed me a lot. It changed my priorities, obviously, as well. While I work hard, I obviously make it a point to spend a lot of time with her as well. So try to keep it as balanced as I possibly can. Which is not always easy with a startup.
So then let me ask you this. As your daughter grows, and, you know, they always put them in school and they say school first, get an education, go to school, learn, and then go work for somebody, go find a job. what are you going to teach her about being an entrepreneur?
Well, I think, look, so I spent some time in the Philippines, and one of the things that the Philippines was really good at in terms of education was teamwork. Everything was about team projects and getting things together as teams. And I think, of course, education is important, right? And of course, you need to get the fundamentals right, but equally be very street smart. So the first thing that I'll try to introduce to her, if she's up for it, is definitely some sports or team sports or any type of team activity, because I feel that's what really prepares you for the real world. And then it's all about following your dreams, right? If you are truly passionate about what you do, you will find a way to make it work. And that's what I would teach her.
So is she going to be a winger or a midfielder?
Oh, up to her. If she wants to do ballet, she can do that too. Hopefully she'll get into triathlon, so I can coach her on the side. So I've been coaching a little bit as well. I think I can get her into the Olympics or something. You never know. No pressure.
Well, let's talk about that, because I feel that your business sense goes with your sports sense. Because in the intro, I told everybody that, you know, you're doing these crazy runs, bikes, swim. How'd you get into it, and why? What does it do?
It all started with a challenge, right? So I did a little bit of football, so soccer. I did a little bit of MMA, and then somebody challenged me into a triathlon, and I basically laughed at this, like, what the hell is a triathlon? I looked it up. Swim, bike, run. I didn't know how to swim properly, freestyle. I didn't even have the right equipment, didn't have a bike. The race was going to be in 4 months or 3 months. I said no. I went to bed, woke up the next day and signed up. And I figured it out on the way. And I fell in love with it. It's something about it. It's a very addictive kind of thing. The thing about it is it's you against yourself. And although you have a support system around you, but it's a very honest sport. And that's what I like about it. You'll never be good at it unless you put the time in it. Other sports, you can get away with a bit of talent, right? With endurance sports, there's just no chance. If you don't put the time in, you won't get there. And I'm quite structured if I want to be. And I just started following this structure, and I really got addicted to it. I felt like, hey, wait, this is actually more fun. I hated running before. I don't know how you were, Charles, as a basketball player, but me as a football player, when we had to run 5 rounds around the pitch, I was like, oh, damn it, no way. But now I run for fun all the time, right? And I just got into it, got into the groove, got into the endorphins, the adrenalines. My life became very structured as well. So I forced myself to train every day. I felt I was happier, more balanced, fresher, slept better, ate better. And just my life became more of an athlete lifestyle. And I got really hooked to it. So, and then it's about the next challenge and the next challenge, and just pushing the boundaries constantly till I got into the longer distances, like the full Ironmans. So yeah, that's a long story.
No, but then you were challenged. Weren't you scared to fail?
No way. I wouldn't allow myself to fail. So that's the thing, Charles. So I knew, look, I did the math, right? I signed up and if I get myself a bike and I taught myself how to swim freestyle via a book. Running I knew I could do. And there was just, if there's anything, I back myself usually, right? I seem to always find a way through things, regardless of how difficult. And yeah, just grind it and got there. Never scared to fail, Charles. And to be honest, look, failure is a learning opportunity, right? So yeah, I'm not too scared of failure, to be honest.
Here's the thing then. So let me ask you this. How did you place then? Because it was only in 4 months. So how did you do?
Look, I wanted to do it under 3 hours. This is an Olympic distance one. Mm-hmm. And I did it in 2 hours 50. And for most people, that's apparently quite respectable. Mm-hmm. And then a year later, I think I had my first podium finish.
Wow.
So,
What do they get? What do you get? What, like millions of dollars? What are you running for and sweating and riding all this bike for so long, and your lungs are collapsing and your knees are going, and every step you take you're like, why in the hell did I do this?
It's a very good point. So you get a trophy, you get a little reward, you get on a podium, you get a picture, and that's pretty much it. But then it's satisfaction, right? It's proving to yourself that you're capable of doing it, right? It's just putting a challenge in front of you and making it intentionally difficult for you, struggling throughout, asking yourself why you're doing it. Throughout the race, and then you arrive, and then you realize you want to do it again. I don't know why, but that's just what happens.
So, because here it is. This is what I'm trying to get at, because you do all that work, and at the end, sometimes putting in the work is just the small satisfactions that you do. So you have to put in the work. There's no going around it. The work is there, and if you have it inside yourself, you know the journey is not going to be easy. Because look at his journey. He goes for a swim first for how long?
So I don't know what it is in miles, but 3.8K, close to 4 kilometers. So,
okay, and then you get out this cold, frigid water onto a bike, and then you ride for how long?
180 kilometers.
Okay, and then after your butt is paining you for sitting on this hard seat, you go for a run for how long?
42K, which is a marathon, right? So and it's that, but that's also the food and the hydration and the heat and there are all the elements. Yeah, it's interesting.
And at the end, the reward is you. The reward is yourself, that you conquered it, that you did it. That's the value you got out of it. You love the reward that, hey, I conquered this.
Yeah, and you get to the finish line and you look back and you look at what you just conquered, right? And you tap yourself on the back and everybody hugs you. You go to bed and you plan your next one.
Is that before or after you rub your body down with every ointment you can find?
Before.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's all about dedication. So we're going to talk about your business now right after this break, because we know that you're dedicated. Let's see about your business and how you can help others. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. CMJ Entertainment is a one-stop shop. CMJ Entertainment helps people do any type of events, and it's a marketing tool as well. So we'll cover everything from start to finish. If it's a wedding, we'll make sure your wedding is over the top. And if it's an event, we make sure that everybody gets information at the end of the day. Give us a call at 416-414-8964 or online, go to cmjent.com.
Thanks, Charles. I'm Carolyn Dickinson, and I'm here to tell you that the Life Success Board systems are live. These success boards have massive impact. The system will allow you to be able to envision that anything is possible for every area of your life. It'll give you direction, it'll give you focus, and it'll keep you moving forward. There are 8 success board systems available to you, plus bonuses. So for more information on this amazing system, click the link below. You don't want to miss it. Back to you, Charles.
Hey, it's okay if you're driving or too busy to take notes. Charles has your parachute packed with all the info you need to jump into success. Check out the links section for all the tools you need to land safe. Now, let's keep falling with Charles and his special guest.
Yes, we're back. I'm here with Superman. Because that's what I'm going to call you from now on, is just Superman moving forward over this whole conversation, because that takes a lot of what you're doing.
I'll take it, Charles. I'll take it. I've been called way worse before. I'll take it.
All right, so let's get into the business side, because we see that you're dedicated and you took a chance, and the chance you took seems to be working for you. So let's talk about the business side of it. Tell us more about what you do.
Yeah, happy to. So, look, at the end of the day, look, I wanted to solve a problem that I'm passionate about, and I wanted to make a difference. And we have now moved into a very specific space. And the problem and the solution we're providing is really, we are a marketplace for business to business outsourcing services. Yeah. So look at it almost like a Fiverr or an Upwork, if you're familiar with that, but very much focused on businesses. Or look at it even as an Amazon, right? If you're not familiar with those platforms, where you can basically purchase and manage your outsourcing. And the reason why we jumped into that world is me and my co-founders, we're very familiar with outsourcing. And outsourcing is really being a business and relying on services delivered by other providers, right? By other businesses all around the world. And today, if you want to find these type of services, be it building an application, doing your digital marketing, doing your lead generation, doesn't matter, right? If you want to find a good provider, your options are basically Google and some personal referrals, right? There isn't really an Amazon out there where you can compare providers and manage those services. So really, that's the solution we're bringing to the table, creating a type of an Amazon specifically for business to business services. That's it in a nutshell, Charles.
All right. So, and then how's it working? What are people finding the struggles, and how are they finding how it's helping them out?
Yeah. So this is based on personal experience, right? So if I want to, let's start with something simple, right? If I'm a startup and I want to hire somebody, that's a difficult proposition, right? That's very costly, labor laws, all of that, quite tricky. If I want to work with freelancers, that works for very specific problems, but for long strategic relationships and engagement, you definitely do want to work with a dedicated specialized agency, and typically cost effectively, right? Either near you or even at the other side of the world, where it can be done even more cost effectively than that. Now, the problem with that today is, if you want to find this, you Google. 70% of the time it's discovered via Google. With that, you don't really necessarily find the best options. You basically find the options that are best at selling themselves and improving their Google ranking, or SEO, as they call it, search engine optimization, right? So, and then again, how do you compare different providers, right? And what we really want to do is create a level playing field for all providers in the world, where it's not your marketing or sales budgets that will make you successful and make you be discovered. It is more your success and your client satisfaction that will improve your reviews and ultimately your ability to be discovered. So really, it's about leveling the playing fields for every single provider in the world, and helping them focus on what they do best rather than trying to market themselves.
Right, because it's a you're saying, market and views. Can you expand on that more?
Say that again. Sorry.
When you're talking about marketing and getting it out there, expand on the marketing part.
Sure. So basically today, right? Let's say you are, I don't know, somewhere in the remote corners of the Philippines, and you have an excellent team of people that are able to build apps as well as any other one in the world, right? Now, for you to be discovered by, for instance, a client in Canada or the US is a very difficult thing to do, right? You would have to really put yourselves out there and make a massive investment in your marketing and your sales to make clients find you when they need your services.
Right.
And that's like today, if I want to go to Amazon, I want to buy a device or any type of product, I have a wide range of options. It doesn't even matter where it's from. Based on the reviews, my selection will be, I can then filter it, and I can then select based on peer-reviewed options. That's not available in the business-to-business world today. Now, beyond that, there's also what happens if something goes wrong, right? Like if you're in Canada, you're working with somebody in the Philippines, you've never even been to the Philippines. How do you trust that relationships? What happens if something goes wrong? That's also where we come in, right? We provide a trusted platform with only vetted providers, and we provide an insurance option for you to make sure you get all your money back if something goes wrong.
Yeah, so it's a safe, easy way to move forward then.
Exactly. A reliable way for you to outsource globally, right? It's really a trusted platform and leveling the playing field for all providers.
So then this goes back to what you were saying about working with teams, working together, how to build a strong community.
Exactly. No, exactly. That's exactly it. And if you want a specific service to be done, like for instance, I don't know, you want an application built, right? That's tough if you don't know where to begin, right? If you want to build your own tech team, that's a very big problem to solve. If you want to work with a set of freelancers that have never even worked together, right? That's asking for trouble. What you really want to go for is work with a team that has a proven track record of working together and deal with them in a cost-effective manner, right? And that allows you to just focus on, any business can then focus on what they do best and then outsource all the rest, right? So that's really what we're trying to achieve, allowing businesses to focus on what they're best at, and everything that can be outsourced, make that very accessible to everyone.
All right. So now we're going to have some fun. It's time. Now time for Pick 3. All right. Now it's time for Pick 3, my friend. You're going to give me numbers between 1 and 10. Pick three numbers, and those are the questions I'm going to ask you right now. Give me 3 numbers between 1 and 10.
All right. It's 1, 7, and 10.
1, 7, and 10. I like you already. Different numbers, not the same numbers all the time. Here we go. Question number 1. What's one thing you wish you would have known before getting into this business?
Ooh. What? Oof, that's a very good question to ask. I need to think about that a little bit. I think maybe the first business. So this is my second business, right? I started something early and then I switched to this. And I think it's all about your co-founders, right? And that's something I had to learn the hard way.
Okay.
How to make, I wished I knew earlier that that the co-founder is much more than just the skill set and the chemistry you think you have. It goes way beyond that. So 3 of my co-founders I've known for over 30 years. So that's a decision I made based on the lesson I learned the hard way. So work with people you know really well and trust blindly. That's probably one thing I would advise. A piece of advice I would give myself if I could speak to myself a year ago.
So then let me ask you this now, because now I'm even more intrigued. What was the first business you did?
Oh, it was a sports tech company. We were gonna revolutionize the influencer model, where it was no longer about social media and your following. It was all about your genuine relationships with the brands you love, with everyday people. That was the problem we were solving. But it wasn't the right team. And as I pursued that idea, I stumbled upon a much bigger problem, which is, why is outsourcing so hard for me? And I've decided to pursue that problem instead.
Gotcha. Okay, so every stumble brings something else.
100%. It's a long, winding journey.
Okay. All right, so let's get back into this. So number 7, if you were in my shoes, what question would you have asked that I didn't ask you?
Oh, those are good questions. Maybe a little bit about my career before I started, right? Okay. I don't know if that's even relevant. Like, how long did you wait before actually jumping into this? What kind of experience have you brought into the startup world?
And
that's maybe one question.
And what's the answer?
Oh, I spent about 12 years in the corporate world, 13 years in the corporate world, and basically learn about every hat there is to wear in a business, learned so much from it, and that made me ready for this, right? It was a stepping stone into this. I think if I jumped into this idea 10 years ago, the timing wouldn't have been right, and I wouldn't have been the right person to do it.
So timing is everything.
100%.
All right, last question. Name 3 people that's influenced you or given you that push that's in your life.
Ooh, this is a controversial one. Definitely my wife. Right? Definitely 100%. Hi, Goldie. I know you're listening.
There you go. That's safe answer. Safe answer. Safe answer. There you go.
You hear me, right? You hear me. Definitely my daughter, Naya.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've had this fantastic mentor growing up who used to be my supervisor. And he just always advised me to back myself. And he gave me a lot. He helped me have a lot of faith in myself, because I was obviously at the edge. Do I jump now? With a baby on the way, no salary, in the most expensive city of the world, which is Singapore. No, do I do this? And the advice I got: back yourself, my friend. And that was the last push I needed to just go all in. So his name is James Stewart.
All right, there you go. All right, so before we let you go, we got one more quick game. It's called Rapid Fire. And basically, I'm going to just throw some questions at you. You just, whatever comes to your head real quick, you just got to answer. But you can give me like a 1 minute answer why you chose that answer. So you can explain yourself, but it's got to be a quick one. Like if I'm asking you some craziness, I need to know 1 minute quick answer. You ready?
Oh, wow. Okay, go, man.
All right, here we go. Favorite food?
Oh, pasta bolognese.
Favorite place to visit?
The bedroom.
All right, love it. What is your
answer that one? It's not what you think. I love sleeping. Let's stick to that answer.
Okay, yeah, we'll stick to that answer. Meanwhile, he just had a baby. Okay, moving on. What is your hidden talent?
Ooh, I don't actually know. That's a good one. I don't think I'm very talented. I think my hidden talent is just perseverance. I don't know if that's a talent, but
that's a talent, my friend. What song do you sing in the shower?
Oh man, some Bob Marley.
Okay, when you're going for that jog, what song is in your ear? What are you playing to get you motivated to jog, swim, ride that bike? What are you listening to?
I don't. I like to be one with the environment. I put everything off and just me and my thoughts.
Okay. So what is your go-to dessert right after you do the match? What is your dessert?
Custard with cookies. In Belgium, we call it pudding with cookies. That's what my mom used to make for me when I was growing up. Okay.
So here it is. You have one chance to meet anybody, past or present. Who are you meeting?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I wouldn't mind meeting somebody like Messi, maybe. The best footballer in the world.
There you go. So if you meet Messi, what is one thing you're asking him for?
What's the secret to your success?
There you go. I like that question that you asked. You didn't ask for money. You didn't ask for anything. You asked for what is the secret.
Charles, I've never asked anyone for any money. That's not my game. Everything is self-made.
There you go. Well, my friend, this has been a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for joining us on The Jump.
Oh, it was an absolute pleasure, Charles.
Now,
I didn't know what to expect. I really enjoyed this. Thanks a lot.
Now, if you need more information, there you go. You can just email him. And if you're looking to take your business to that next level, and as we talked about teamwork, making things easier, getting it to the next level, and trying new things. The main thing is to take that next step and go for it. And I'm not saying that you have to go swim that ocean or run that super long run, but taking a couple steps outside the door is your first step. And that's all we ask you to do is jump into action and take that first step. Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged to obtain professional legal and medical service.
Hey, hope you had a great time listening to the show. If you think I did a great job, please buy me a coffee. I still got a lot of work to do. We would love to hear from you, your feedback, so please click the link and leave us a review. You can help us grow by following us on all social media platforms and sharing this link. Once again, it's time for you to jump. Success is waiting.